But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about structure because you guys are named Structured, and so that's just an obviously fun pun for me. But also, since COVID hit and the world went kind of whatever, what I have found is I have become increasingly reliant on personal structure to get through the day, right? How my morning, afternoon, evening looks and what I'm doing and whatever. And so given that, right, given my experience with that, and I'm sure a lot of you can resonate with that, I'm sure it translates to business as well, right? So like, what kind of structure do you think businesses are looking for, like right now, not next year, but right now, because we're in the thick of this still. And Bill, I'm going to once again toss the microphone over to you.
Sure. So, it's definitely been interesting when kind of, things started going into shutdown here back in March. We certainly helped a lot of people with remote access. And that was really getting their businesses set up to do it, quickly and as scalably as possible. I think, as we're looking forward now, I think businesses are coming to the terms that remote work, remote access is going to be a long-term strategy for their enterprise. We keep hearing from clients more and more that they're looking at reducing office footprint, allowing more work from home, because they've learned that productivity and employee satisfaction has gone up with work from home strategies in many cases. So I think businesses really need to focus on kind of evolving a more strategic outlook as to what remote access looks like, and really understanding, who is on the network, what devices they're using, how are they accessing it, and are they really having kind of a secure, frictionless experience when working from home right now.
So of course, the comment is everybody is more productive working from home. I wonder, would everybody agree with that? I was waiting for the cue that like the child or the dog to run into the room right now.
That only happens on
the BBC. Yeah.
I was gonna say. Cheryl, you're
anecdotally, sorry, Cam, but anecdotally, just, we've already heard from our employees, just the reduction in drive and travel time has been such a benefit to kind of quality of life in their experience. And I think we've actually picked up productivity in some cases because of that.
I can see that. I mean, I personally work better at home or in a focused environment. Cheryl, you're kind of boots to the ground, so to speak. What are you seeing from a structure point of view that businesses could benefit from right now?
Yeah, I think initially, as everybody's just up and with the response to COVID and shutting things down, everybody's very reactive, and now that we've kind of all been in this spot for a period of time, I think it's time to start to kind of, how are we going to be more proactive and look at, we've got everybody working, or so we think we've got everybody working from home. Now let's focus on security. Like what are they actually accessing when they come in on their VPN or however they're accessing the network? What devices are they using to connect to our infrastructure? Making sure that policies are in place, and start to look at your network with a zero trust kind of mindset, where we need folks to access the things that they need to do to complete their job every day, but we don't want to give them access to everything on the network necessarily. So really start to identify policies from a security standpoint: who's accessing the network, what are they accessing on the network, and what devices are they using?
It's kind of like having HR policies for IT, right? And only people can see certain things. Kind of.
Exactly.
David, you've been pretty quiet. You have anything you want to add?
Two things, visibility being one. So monitoring, alerting, the network monitoring, the usage and the users to ensure that the policies are being followed. And then the monitoring really around, as we start to build this out, one of the big things we should be focusing on is the availability of these services. And so if we're building in redundancy or high availability, if we're not monitoring when that fails and it fails again, then we're in a failed state for all this work we did to make it redundant and highly available. So making sure that we can see those events. And then when we talk about the visibility piece, I'm sorry, when we talk about the interoperability piece, which is the second part, we want to choose solutions that have proven track records of interoperating with other vendors so that we don't have vendor lock. We want to be able to choose best of breed, best for our environment, and make sure that we're making choices for the business.